This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Anything discussed during this podcast does not, and is not intended to, constitute legal advice. Instead, all content is for general entertainment purposes only. Listeners should contact their attorney to obtain advice with respect to any particular legal matter. Listening to, contacting us, or any of the links or resources contained within this podcast and/or website does not create an attorney-client relationship. The views expressed during this podcast are those of the individual lawyers in their individual personal capacities only.
All the legal ladies, all the legal ladies, all the legal ladies, all the legal ladies.
No, my announcement. Never mind.
Keep going.
No, you know how I get this feeling. I have to find out what's going on because I have that feeling again.
About who?
I don't know. That's why I need to know. I need to figure it out. Or it could be just the birth or something. So background information. We haven't even introduced ourselves.
Are we recording?
Yes. This is totally like the blooper reel. All right. And welcome to All the Legal Ladies. This is our second episode. It's going so great. Unwind with us as we navigate the fascinating world of legal tales, precedents, and occasional objection-worthy jokes. And Marsha's telling us about her feelings.
Hello out there. No. So sometimes I get these feelings. It's usually about pregnancy. So let me tell you about Alycia.
I am not pregnant.
She is not pregnant, but when she was first, if you watched episode 1, she mentioned it ever so briefly about her supervisor not being thrilled about her being pregnant when she...
Not that she let me know, because she did not.
But it was right after Alycia was hired.
Right after.
And we were sitting at a table for training. And I told everyone at the table, Alycia was not at the table, that I had a dream that Alycia was pregnant. And lo and behold,
I was pregnant. I was sick the whole drive up to that training. I was like sipping on club soda and juice mixed together. And so when I showed up at that table and everybody was looking at me funny and said, Marsha had a dream about you. And I said, oh, and I excused myself to go to the bathroom and then didn't think about it anymore because I was just trying not to be sick.
yes, yes. And then Kat,
That's me.
I had a feeling she was pregnant in December, towards the end of December.
Of 2019.
Yes.
And I did find out I was pregnant on New Year's Day, 2020. Yep.
So she knew before Kat did.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have a feeling that someone is pregnant close to me. So I don't know who it is.
That stage of my life has passed.
None of us.
None of
having
us.
any more babies.
No.
So we are looking off screen to our legal assistant here.
I am not. I know of.
And Lord willing, it's not my son. Well, not him, of course, but his girlfriend. I just can't pinpoint it. So maybe it's the birth of a new experience like this podcast. So welcome.
That was quite the icebreaker.
We're going to move into our segment of the day. Next on the docket, where we discuss legal topics for the week. This week, we're going to be talking about St. Paul, Minnesota, and they're all female city council.
You really got the Minnesotan O on that Minnesota there.
Minnesota.
Like that upper Midwest O.
So the council is comprised of mostly women of color and all under the age of 40, which is really impressive. Because we only have one under 40 right here. No, you're 40 now.
Yeah, I turned 40. No one is under 40.
No one's under 40
I'm
anymore.
looking around. I'm like, no, the two of you are older than I. Who is it?
Yeah.
Are they at the table with us?
Yeah, our two other people in the room are under 40.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yes. So the St. Paul City Council president, Mitra Jalali, maybe? Jolly?
We'll have to look up names ahead of time.
I really apologize for that. We're a multi-faith, multicultural group of women. Our professional experience are what people trusted as much as our personal ones. We have a clear policy vision that got us elected. According to data from the Center for American Women in Politics at Rutgers University, nearly 70% of municipal offices in the United States are held by men.
Which had me going down a real rabbit hole of how many female county commissioners have we had here in St. Mary's County. And of course, I just moved here in 2009. So most of them were before my time. I see Barbara Thompson, Frances Egan, Julie Rando, Shelby Guazzo, and then Cindy Jones. I remember being in office when we first moved here, and then no women since then. What do we think about that?
That needs to change.
Yes.
But we did have some more recent women in politics down here. We do now have our first woman state's attorney. Our treasurer's office, our register of wills office, and our clerk of the court have been held by women traditionally. And we do have our second woman judge on the bench right now.
In the circuit court.
In the circuit court, yes. Judge Abrams was our first, appointed way back in 2005. Okay. And Judge Chesser came around in the 2010s, I think.
Yes, and she's district court.
Yeah. We have a couple women on the Board of Education, but not the commissioner. Oh, we do have a couple women on the town council here in Leonardtown. So that's really good. But as we talked last segment, representation is important.
Yes, it is.
And Marsha, our very own Marsha, ran for office not too long ago. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. It was quite an experience running for the Board of Education, which is supposed to be a nonpartisan position. But partisan politics entered the fray, as it sometimes does. So, but it was important for me to run because I believe strongly in making sure that our children get the education that they deserve, a public education that they deserve, and everyone should be able to get that education, all children. So I decided to run, even though it was a long shot, which surprisingly, it wasn't too bad. It was bad when people, tell you lies about yourself, and then turn around and say, no, you're not Marsha. When I say, yes, I am Marsha, and I've never said those things. And then you have people making up things to other people, and you have your son, saying, my mom is running for Board of Education and defending me in school. So it was quite an experience, but it was a worthwhile experience, which is why I encourage people, if they want to run for office, despite the odds, that they should run, put their name out there, because representation matters. You need diverse opinions and you need diverse thoughts in politics, so that people, your constituents, you hear from all of your constituents. There's not just one constituent in your county or in your district. There are multiple people, and the county commissioners and Board of Education should represent the constituents in their district and in their county. And when you just have one type of person sitting on the board, you don't get that diverse thought. You don't get that diverse opinion. So you don't get that different perspective in order to make laws, rules, or anything, regulations, so for the good of the county. When you don't have diversity of thought, you tend to just focus on what you want and what you look like, or what is better for or good for the masses, not even the masses, but the majority, the people who get you elected, instead of the people who you're supposed to serve in the community. So
the people who've had the same experiences that you've had, because that's all you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what got me about the backlash to was it St. Paul Council? So, they're saying, oh, it's just a bunch of diversity hires. I'm like, Or it's a bunch of the most qualified people for the position. But if you can't look past the color of someone's skin, well, oh, that's obviously the only reason they got on here. It's not because of their career. It's not because of their qualifications or their training or their education, all of those things. Nope, it can only be one thing. It's really frustrating to see that happen.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that's the same with the Supreme Court with Kajani Brown.
I don't think that's
right?
I don't think that's how you say her name.
Katani.
There's a J in there.
Yes.
If you ever want her to come down here and eat at Sweet Bay again so that we can run into her, we have to say her name,
Yes.
Katani Brown.
But, people say, oh, they don't have a problem with an all-male board or an all-male city council. They have an issue when it's an all-female council. Why shouldn't there be an all-female council? What is the problem if they are highly qualified and they won the election? They're educated. They are running because they feel that they can make a difference and a change. And so why? Why is that an issue?
As Our Lady Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, until there are 9.
Yes. Yes.
Because then we don't have to worry about it being historical anymore. It just is.
That would be great.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd like it to stop being history and start being
Normal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
normal.
Exactly.
I think we talked about why it is so important to vote, to have our say in things. And I'm going to, again, bring up my favorite meme about voting. The mayor of Jaws is still the mayor in Jaws 2. We have to vote in our local elections.
Local elections matter.
They sometimes matter more than the national ones. When you're talking about where funding goes, voting for our county commissioners right now, they're looking at funding for our schools. They look at fundings for the library, nonprofits, for our police. So if we don't vote the right people into office, then, the things that are important to us might not get funded.
And even if you think your vote doesn't matter, it really does. The recent elections have shown that here in where we live, there was a difference of about 76 between the county commissioner being elected and a new county commissioner being elected. There was a difference, less than 100 votes, I believe. So your vote does matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you're local in Maryland, you can register in person for early voting or at the normal polling areas on the day of voting. You have to register online or by mail 21 days in advance. And if you're not in Maryland and you're wondering where you can register and how that works, you can go look at vote.org.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please do.
We won't say vote early, vote often, but vote early.
In the primary and general elections.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Especially if you live in a place like St. Mary's County, where sometimes the primary is the election.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's time for recess.
I'm sorry.
The primary here,
Wow.
it's May.
It's in May.
It's in May.
School is closed, I know.
We're pulling out our phones to check that right now.
I'm going to say, what's on the ballot here this time? We've got a judicial election.
We have a judicial election.
Board of
there are
Education?
to the at-large position and
District
District
2. And
It is May 14th,
Yeah.
2024.
May 14th.
Yep. And Maryland is a closed primary, meaning you have to be registered for the Republican or the Democratic Party in order to vote in the primary. There are some positions that you can vote for as an independent,
yes.
and that would be the judge election and any nonpartisan.
And the Board of
positions in
Education.
The Board of Education.
Mhm.
We've been hearing
Theoretically
rumors.
nonpartisan. elections.
Theoretically nonpartisan. Yes.
I believe that they're attempting to put the abortion question on the ballot to enshrine it in the Maryland Constitution, which should pass, but we haven't seen it officially yet.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that affects the turnout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't county commissioner, what I was saying earlier. It was the delegate, state delegate.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
House of Delegates, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a close election.
It was.
All right. So is it time for recess?
It's time for recess.
Should we spin the
Let's
wheel?
play.
Laws of land. Oh, laws of the land. The categories are laws of the land, you be the judge, 2 lies in a lawsuit, court costs, or it's cheaper to keep him.
Or her.
Or her.
It's cheaper to keep him.
All right. It's cheaper to keep him. In Murdoch versus Tor, billionaire Rupert Murdoch gave his wife higher or lower than $3 billion divorce settlement after being caught cheating with another woman.
It was a case that went to trial if it's Murdoch versus Tor, right? So I feel like higher than 3 million.
I have no idea how much Murdoch is worth.
$3 billion.
Oh, he's worth $3 billion?
No, higher or lower than $3
He's gotta
billion.
be worth trillions, right? I mean, he owns Fox and then whatever over in the UK that he owns.
I'm going to go lower.
Lower.
I said higher.
Lower. 1.7.
1.7 billion?
That's a lot of money.
Billion with a B. Okay. Tiger Woods gave his wife Ellen higher or lower than $500 million in their divorce settlement.
I feel like lower.
I'll see that when I go higher.
I would go higher.
There.
Higher.
I just bad at this.
I just feel like if every single woman that you cheat on your wife with looks like your wife, you should owe her more. It's just weird.
It's weird.
When Mel Gibson divorced his wife, Robin Moore, in 2006, the settlement was higher or lower than $600 million. I say lower. Mel Gibson?
I think higher because he's such
that was like
a
the height of his
racist.
popularity,
Was it?
right?
What didn't he just come out to be like anti-Semitic, which is why she divorced him?
In 2006?
I thought that happened more in like the 2010s,
Okay.
early 2010s.
I don't know. But the last time I remember watching Mel Gibson is Signs. So that was like the 90s, right? I don't know. I'm bad with times.
600 million?
Yes. Higher or lower?
Lower.
I'm going to keep my losing streak going. Higher.
I said lower.
Lower. 425 million.
425 million. Okay. And what was Tiger Woods?
710 million.
710 million. Wow.
It was Mel Gibson when the Jesus movie came out, Passion of the Christ,
Passion of the
right?
Christ.
So when was that?
It's like, I remember What Women Want. I don't remember when that came out, though.
No, I'm having trouble finding it. Probably because I need to put Passion of the Christ.
Don't know.
Yep.
I cannot find it fast enough. That is awful.
Is it?
Okay.
You be
Let's
the
see.
judge. I want to play that.
Oh my gosh. Lethal Weapon was 1987.
I'm getting too old for this.
I can't believe
And he was
that.
younger than you, I think, when he said that. Wasn't he 38?
Braveheart was 1995. Oh, The Patriot was 2000. Okay, Signs was 2002.
I don't
And
know.
they don't even have Passion of the Christ on here.
Okay, this is to get to know us a little bit. You be the judge. Who's most likely to stalk their child while they're out on a date?
2004, it was before.
Out of the three of us, I'm most likely to stalk Marsha's child. He wasn't on a date at the fairgrounds, but I did take a photo of him in line and send it to you.
Without him knowing.
Well, by the
That
time I
time-
went up and took a selfie in front of him, he did see me.
Yeah.
The look on his face captured that moment.
He came home and said, "Why you have your friends following me?" It's like, no.
If he doesn't want people to recognize him out in public, he shouldn't be such a snappy dresser.
Yes.
He stands out in the crowd.
Oh, that's
In a good way.
yes. Who's most likely to forget something at the office when they go to court?
Done it before, but not regularly.
Forget
no.
something at the office. We've occasionally later realized we needed something.
Mhm.
No, I don't feel like any of us forgets things at the office.
No, not
But court, thankfully for us, is a 2-minute walk.
Yes. So if we do, we can just
Yeah.
call or text. Who's most likely to win a Nobel Prize?
Marsha.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, yes, I'm about peace.
But better watch it when she does get mad at you.
It doesn't happen often, but when it does.
Well, that was fun.
Oh, all right. Well, we've come to our last segment. Childhood Traumas, where we're going to read a wild case story from the attorneys on Reddit. So, Alycia, are you ready?
Right. Oh, this one's longer. Okay. Let's see. Contested minor name change. I'm sitting at the staff attorney desk to the side of the bench. I wonder what state this is. There's a staff attorney desk, but counsel for mom asked to approach before the hearing began. Everyone approaches and counsel requests a break at 10:30 a.m. so his associate, who was with him and who had recently come back from maternity leave, could go pump breast milk. Before the magistrate could give the obvious yes, counsel for the dad says, milk and cookies. Hope she brought enough for everyone.
Oh, wow.
He realized his attempt at humor was not well taken and denied by the look of absolute WTF-ery he got from everyone. We're going to call that an attempt at humor. It was not successful. It was not successful. Same hearing. Attorney for dad keeps making loud, wildly misogynistic asides to his client during OC's direct of the mom. That feels on brand.
Yep.
Everyone's getting annoyed. Then he gets up to do cross and starts in on making a line of questioning that the fight over the name change is just because the mom is a disgruntled woman. Her attorney says, objection, sexism? Court sustained.
Wow.
Ew.
Yeah.
I feel like there have been objections like that sustained down here. Like maybe we don't actually say sexism, but objection, and then just kind of gesture to the person and they're like, sustained.
Yes. That reminds me of when opposing counsel in one of my cases. What did he say? He asked, so do you think she just gives BJs?
I forgot about that one. Didn't he ask his client if she paid for his services with oral sex?
Yes. That's it. Yes.
That's right.
Objection. Sustained. Yeah. That's childhood traumas. Mm-hmm.
At some point, I guess we're going to have to stop reading Reddit and eventually start telling our own
Right.
traumas.
Yeah.
But yikes.
I will say, I guess, well, I was like thinking about when I was pumping at court, it was like during foster care cases, like SINA cases. So nobody was that weird or gross during those cases. They were pretty cool about it. And the one or two times I was at court, even in different jurisdictions, like they were always super nice. Like you could use a jury room or, you know, whatever you needed.
Yep. And while pregnant a couple times, I might have to ask for an extra comfort break, but nobody ever, made fun of the pregnant lady.
Right. I don't think it would be tolerated down here if they did that in the courtrooms we practice in.
Mm-mm.
In Hagerstown, so Washington County, there is a bench that's along the side of the courtroom that's specifically for attorneys to sit on. So I don't know if that's similar, like staff attorney.
I was just wondering because I was thinking of like there are some states that have, I think, attorneys who work for the courthouse, kind of like permanent law clerks or something like that.
Yep.
But that's just still grossing me out.
Well,
All right. That childhood trauma gave me trauma.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of All the Legal Ladies. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and listen to the audio on your favorite digital streaming platform. Next time, don't ask for milk and cookies, and we'll see you next week.